All right, good morning. I'm joined here on the Fatboy FadeAway Sports Podcast. First weekend of October here. Truly fall now, even though the weather is still 90 degrees here in Sonoma County. I'm joined today by my brother Casey and Brian. Again, he's joining me. We're going to go over a little bit of the last day of MLB talk. Got some good races to talk about, and we'll also touch on the NFL a little bit. Fellas, what's going on? How was the week?
It was good. I drove back from San Jose to Orange County on Friday.
Casey, nobody drives more than this man. I mean, this guy puts on the miles. He really does. He's been delivering pizzas since he was like, what, 18? I mean, the guy always drives. It's crazy. He's gonna
Brian was Uber and Lyft before it was created.
Exactly.
Yeah, when you're driving the Aerostar, the confidence that must have built in you when you were driving that thing around. That must have been the thing.
I think that would be considered my bad driving days.
Well, at least we can be honest about it.
Everyone's got to remember that 3-point turn in Fountain Grove.
Oh man.
I remember being on the phone. I remember you being on the phone with you and like Casey, I think was around, and maybe like somebody else. And you're like, I'm like, so how's it going? You're like, good. Yeah, I'm about just working delivering pizzas. And you're like, I hear this like boom, and you're like, I gotta go. I think I hit a dog. And I was like, what? You hit a dog? I think the dog.
That was so random. A dog leaping into my car in Roner Park.
Brian's got the best.
Only the Brian. You have the best stories that I've been.
I mean, you got 40s going through your windshields. You got.
I forgot about that. About that. Somebody did that. I totally forgot about that.
I mean, Brian had the cops called on him when he's delivering pizzas because he rang the doorbell for like 20 minutes.
I forgot about that too. Brian, you're the best. You got all the best stories.
I love it.
Hey, did you do anything this week?
Yeah, just working, grinding. Yeah, just working, grinding, and then went for a nice hike, and then was jogging my way through, and like get through. I'm like maybe a half mile to my car, and whoop whoop, get pulled over. I'm like, damn man, I haven't pulled over in a long while, but I haven't been
pulled over walking.
Got pulled over walking. Yeah.
Okay.
I was just like, what the hell, out of breath, and he's just
what'd
like,
they say?
He's like, hey, you been waving your arms around? I'm like, I've been doing this. Like, I haven't been doing nothing crazy. He's like, you're a person of interest. And I was like, really? I was like, that's kind of crazy. Like a lime green shirt with a backpack with 2 water bottles. I haven't heard this one for a while, but all right. He's just like, all right, where are you coming from? Like in the hills? He's like, you working out? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, give me the shocker. Like, all right, cool. And then drove off. I was like, what the hell? I was like, all right, whatever.
They were looking for somebody that's funny. Well, maybe you need to work on maybe the form a little bit if you're getting a full hour for waving your arms up. I'd be remiss if we didn't say happy anniversary to our parents, their 40th anniversary today. So happy anniversary to my mom and dad. Pretty special day for them.
The big 4-0.
So we'll see them later today. We're gonna go out to a little dinner here in Geyserville. What are we gonna go to? I think it's called Catelli's, like an Italian restaurant. So it should be pretty good. So yeah, we'll be doing that.
Tell them Brian said happy anniversary.
You just did right there. I like that. I'll put that on loop. I'll bring it at we'll put that on replay at dinner. Tyler, obviously, he's at a wedding this week over in Santa Barbara. So lucky man over there. He's probably enjoying good weather over at Santa Barbara.
Tyler, avoid the nostrils. No bloody noses this time.
No bloody noses. Exactly. A lot to get into though, sports-wise. The only thing I might give a bloody nose is that NOS race. The Giants end up losing yesterday. 3-2, I think it was, to the Padres, and then the Dodgers end up winning 8-3 against the Brewers. And now it's a 1-game lead. Obviously, the Giants still have they still own their own fate. Basically, they win today, they win the division. They lose, opens the door. The thing I like about the MLB that they changed, Brian, from earlier is that now they have all the games start like around 12:05. It's either 12:05, maybe I think the last game's like 12:15. So you don't know ahead of time. I mean, you have to play your guys thinking, what happened. So
if the Dodgers and Giants finish tied, will there be a 1-game playoff?
A 1-game playoff, and that would mean, let's just say that does happen where the Giants lost, which they won't, right, Tyler? That's 2 in a row. They won't lose 2 in a row. There's just no way. That won't happen. It's just not going to happen, right, Brian? No way. So let's say they lose. Let's say
unless the Padres want to screw things up for the Giants.
Yeah, let's just get crazy. Let's just say they win 2 in a row today. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I have my fingers crossed. By the way. Let's say that doesn't happen. That means both teams would have 106 wins.
Wow.
106 wins, and they're playing for the division. Like, that puts in perspective, like, remember all those wins we thought the Braves and Giants had at 93 when like the Braves won 104 and the Giants won 103. And it's like they have 2 more wins than that. It's crazy.
I mean, that's when the Giants had Will Clark and Barry Bonds on the same team.
And Matt Williams. Yeah, that was good. Go ahead, Casey.
No, I was gonna say that's nuts. Just because their division is so stacked. I mean, Diamondbacks blow, but I mean, man,
Diamondbacks have 110 losses on the opposite end. 110 losses. I just think it's fascinating that you have 106 wins from even the Dodgers, who are stacked. That's still a ton of wins in a baseball season. And then you look at the Giants, and that came out of nowhere. 106. That's the second most ever in their franchise. I think like 1920 or something, like maybe even later than that is their next highest. That gives you in perspective like how good of a season they're having this year, which is kind of nuts. And then it got me think,
if they get 106 wins, they were saying like they tie the Brooklyn,
they have 106.
Or excuse me, like I think if they exceed this, they have more wins than like the Brooklyn when they were in New York. Like I was like, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, the New York Giants, maybe. I think that's the Christy Mathewson days, those type of days, right there, the old school days that nobody knows about. So
I know I saw that they already have the most wins in Giants franchise history in San Francisco.
Yeah, they do. They also so like I said, Dodgers have 105, so the most they can end up with. Giants could have 107. That's how much they can obviously end up with. The Rays also are the 100 club this year. No other team is going to be able to get there this year. It made me think of other teams that are in history that have won 100 teams that are dominant. Well, no team, obviously, because we're West Coast, it just sticks out first more so than the Yankees. For me, it's the Mariners team that won 116 games in 2001. There's no way that will ever happen again. 116. I can't even now looking back at that, I was like, I looked at their season. It's just crazy. Like WWWL. It's like this so consistent when there's they didn't lose 2 games in a row until September, until the A's beat them the first week in September. And they hadn't been swept all season until the last weekend of the season, or the last weekend before the season, basically, by the A's, of course.
Didn't the A's win over 100 that year too?
Yeah, they still finished 11 and a half games out of
102 games. That's stupid.
No, they finished 14 and a half out. So that gives you a perspective. So it made me think of them, maybe think of the Yankees team in 99, when after they won the first championship in 98, that team member won 125 total games. So they were including postseason. That team was stacked as well. So I don't know. That's why I like baseball at the end of the season. Get to talk about these 100 win club. I like that. That's a big moment. So Giants Dodgers today. Let's just make a quick little pick. We don't have to break it down too much, but what do you think? Giants win, Dodgers win. How do you think it plays out today, Case?
Giants got Logan Webb on the hill today, so he's been solid all year. So I think the Giants win and the Dodgers win. That's just how it is. I mean, that's what they do. They've been matching each other here.
And the Giants win the division because they win today. That's Brian. You think the Giants win today?
I'm gonna say there's a little bit more drama. I think the Giants lose and the Dodgers win, and there's gonna be a 1-game playoff.
Well, you could decide if I mean this sarcastically or not, but I think there's
No,
no way
I'm
the
sure.
Giants could. There's no way the Giants could lose to it already, Tyler. There's no way.
I could see the Giants. I could see the Giants getting down like 4-0, like in the third, and then coming back and winning it like in grand style with late
Yeah,
night.
the Giants do have a way to have drama like that. They're pretty good with that type of thing. Again, I like the 12 o'clock start there. That makes it good. Speaking of drama, nothing is getting more dramatic than the AL wild card. It's crazy right now. That I mean, even if you didn't have the second wild card, I mean, it would still be nuts. I mean, seriously, like it'd actually be even more crazy if you didn't have the second wild card. So we're in the situation right now where you have 4 teams basically battling for 2 spots. You have the Yankees in Boston. Boston both have 91 and 70. They hold the top 2 spots. Right below them are the Mariners and Blue Jays. They're 90 and 71, 1 game out. If any of them tie, you'll have, let's say 3 of them tie, you'll have a best of, one plays one based on head-to-head records, and then they'll play the next person. If 4 get in, I'm not even going to go there. But anyways, so basically you got the Red Sox playing the Nationals today. You got the Yankees playing the Rays at home. You got the Mariners hosting the Angels, and you got the Blue Jays hosting the Orioles. So I don't know about you guys. I feel like the Blue Jays will probably win like 12-10 or like 12-2 against the Orioles. I can't see the Orioles beating the Blue Jays in a game like this. The Mariners, I think, could win, right? So now it comes down to the Rays Yankees. The Rays won 12-2. The Rays go all in on the last game of the season and try to beat the Yankees and force them maybe to not make the playoffs. Brian, what happens here?
I think it ends up being Yankees, Blue Jays, and the wild card.
Wow, that would be surprising to me if that happened. If that does happen, there would have to be a play in there somewhere too, I think. Unless
I know they were saying that Guerrero has a chance to get the AL MVP, right?
Well, we were talking about that last week. I think we kind of said that probably isn't going to happen, but it's a good chance. Still, we'll get into him here shortly, though, when we go over the stats here. But Case, what do you think? Who do you think gets in that wild card, and how do you think it ends up playing out?
Like the Mariners in their 19-year drought, they get in, and Boston, man, you can't lose 2 out of 3 to the Orioles. That is brutal. I was like, damn. So I don't know. I just see Boston maybe choking this away, and Father Tom is coming back to New England, so maybe he can rub in some more dirt into Boston fans' hopes and just stick it to them. And I think Boston's going home. I think it's going to be like what Brian said, but I think the Yankees and Mariners are going to get in.
Yeah, I think it's. I was thinking about it last night. I was like, I don't like them. I think the Mariners kind of blew their chance when they lost Friday. They were tied. They lost Friday to the Angels. So I think for me, I feel like that's the big loss. Doesn't mean they're out, but I think that was the one that kind of made it hard on them. The Blue Jays, I see them winning today. I honestly see the Yankees beating the Rays today, and I see the Red Sox beating the Nationals. So I think it's going to end up being those two that meet in the wild card. I think it's going to stay how it is.
I'm rooting. I hope the Mariners and Blue Jays get in, because I don't want to see the Yankees and Red Sox get in.
How do you think Major League Baseball will feel if the ratings are going to be off the charts? Yankees versus Red Sox, the hatred, the rivalry, the evil empire, the Boston Idiots, and then you got Seattle, Toronto come in there.
I mean, you're gonna have Starbucks.
With Mitch Haniger.
You're gonna have Starbucks and Canada Dry.
Hey, at least the Blue Jays would have some star power with them. So I mean, whatever. If they get in, that's fine with me. So let's take a real quick look at the possible playoff matchups for next week. So we already know these matchups for sure. We got Philadelphia versus Milwaukee, or not Philadelphia, excuse me. Atlanta versus Milwaukee. I was like, Philadelphia. Atlanta versus Milwaukee. You guys got somebody in that one? Did you hear about the Milwaukee reliever? He punched the wall, Brian. They were celebrating a victory, kind of like how sometimes adult men do after a game. They get a big bottle of champagne and it looks like always cheap beer like Bud Light or something, and they start enjoying themselves. And this guy got so excited he punched a wall and he broke his hand, and he's out for the playoffs now. He's a pretty good reliever on their team, rookie of the year last year, Devin Williams. So don't party too hard, people. Don't punch with your throwing hand. That's not smart baseball. Not smart. Who do you like, Atlanta or Milwaukee? Brian, you go first.
I probably would go with the Atlanta Braves in that matchup.
Case?
I got Milwaukee, but I mean, if you're gonna do that, at least like if you're gonna party, throw chairs like Brian, just toss them.
That's the way to do it. Then you're just all you're doing now. You're just paying fines. You're not breaking your hand. That's important because now he's missing out on the playoff check too.
Or do what I did in my hotel after the Packers lost, to throw some water bottles.
There you go.
Oh, Brian, don't get too crazy on us out there. Don't party that hard, people. What are you gonna say? All right. Another one is Chicago White Sox versus the Astros. That's kind of a juicy matchup, actually. There's some good players in that one right there. I'm going with the White Sox, because of Andrew Vaughn, probably more so, Tony La Russa. And I don't want the Astros to win, but it's hard not to think the Astros will win. So I'm rooting for the White Sox.
I'm rooting for the White Sox as well. Obviously, Andrew Vaughn, local kid, but I think they actually got a really good squad. And plus, I hate the Astros. There's no trash cans. You can't bang on nothing this year, so there's no wires.
I hope they get like more crap this year when they get to Chicago. You know what I mean? I hope they. Right now, let me look at the standings again real quick. Let's see who's going to host that round. That's going to be.
I mean, I believe like
that makes a difference, right?
The last time they won the World Series was in Houston, right? If I'm wrong.
Yeah, it looks like Houston's going to host it. So they won't hear they won't hear it right away. They'll get the love the first two games, but we'll see what happens there at that series. So Brian, you probably got the White Sox too, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see Houston in the ALCS again.
All right, the last one, hypothetical here. It's the only hypothetical I'll try because we know it's going to happen one way or the other. Let's just go. LA, St. Louis, wild card matchup. Does St. Louis beat them?
Does St. Louis pull it out? Does
St. Louis pull it out? Do they screw over Major League Baseball again and deny us the first ever playoff matchup of Giants Dodgers? Do they do it?
I just don't see it. I have to go with the Dodgers in that matchup.
All right, fair enough.
I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
It's hard not to.
Adam Wainwright, full refs. I mean, he's 40 years old. This is like basically his last chance, I almost think, to start maybe a significant game. So he's gonna pitch his ass off.
Yeah.
So I want to see Dodgers Giants because it'd be so epic, but I just feel like the Cardinals are that team where it's just, I mean, what they've won.
Yadier Molina off the end of the bat, right over the first baseman's head. The game is over. Like Wainwright, shot by Turner right at the third baseman. Like they'll be like these plays where I'll be like, should be base hits. I think
it's gonna be an unreal matchup. The Cardinals and the Dodgers. I think that's gonna be a good game.
I mean, Joe Buck has got to be calling that game, right?
Oh, I hope so.
I mean, Jack was his dad from St. Louis forever, so he's got to be calling that game.
Probably so. I don't know what network has it. That probably is what matters. If Fox has it, probably he is doing it. Let's take a quick little break here. I got just a few other questions with MLB, and then we'll touch on the NFL here. We'll be right back. All right, we're back here. This is a good first segment, gentlemen. Talking about the playoffs there, 100-win club. All right, I got some questions for you, getting ready for the playoffs here, just general picture, getting ready for the DS series. What do you guys think, though, of that second wild card spot? Do you like it? Do you think, would you expand on it, or do you like it where 5's at? Go ahead, T. Or go ahead, Brian.
I actually think that, I don't know. I think the game kind of sucks just because, I mean, sometimes if you're a 100-win team and maybe if you don't have a good game and then the other team's hot at the time, I mean, you can just get knocked out and then you're out of the playoffs. I mean, maybe both teams should get in and there should be one more extra wild card team.
So basically at that point, would you just do a 1 versus 6, 2 versus 5, that type of thing? That would be interesting. Maybe that's where it's headed eventually. Case, what do you think? You like that second wild card spot?
I love it the way it is. It gives a lot of intrigue to the game. Baseball's already as stale as is. So I think you just need to keep it the way it is because it's like that's the most intriguing game I think the MLB has going on right now. Like every time, like it sucks when your team's like, the Giants or Dodgers like over 100 wins. But then if you're like the Cardinals fan, you got to be loving it.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of translate it to
Oh,
the
yeah.
NBA. I'll translate to the NBA with the playing game. It's just, it's all or nothing, basically. You played 162 games. Now it comes down to one game.
Yeah, the NBA is like kind of a joke with that because like half the league gets in the playoffs with that kind of stuff there.
Yeah.
All right, second question here. Quick answer, nothing. Just give you a quick thought. Nothing more than like a few words here. Favorite part of the MLB playoffs, Casey?
Anyone can lose.
Ryan?
I would say the division series is my favorite part because it's just like a best of three.
Well, it's actually best of five. There was, but I get your point on that. My thing is every pitch matters, but the crowd with it. It's like we're the crowd that provides the every pitch drama. That's what I like about it, where it's like first inning, 2 outs, 2 strikes, crowd's jacked up already. That's what I like about it. It kind of really gets the players amped up more than the regular season.
Why'd you get a long answer?
Go ahead, you can expand a little bit more on it. I wanted you. Yeah, I didn't want you to go redundant. I wanted you to give me a good one. All right, what is your favorite division series moment? Or what's if not a favorite, just something that sticks out about it? Mine, I'll go first with it. Well, of course, it's the A's losing every game 5. That's what stands out to me about the division series. The A's never ever coming up clutch. I mean, just like what was it, Brian? 3 straight years of game 5 losses, right? Yankees, Red Sox, Twins. I feel like it was rough. Yeah. And then they finally broke through and then lost in 4 to the Tigers. You got one, Casey?
I was at game 4. They won against Detroit, so that's my favorite moment.
That's a good one with Coco, right?
Back. Yeah, Coco. It was just a phenomenal game. The loudest I've heard the Coliseum like almost ever in my life. And I've been, we've been through a lot of Coliseum games. Yeah. That was by far that was ridiculous. That was Oakland to its strong.
Low-key note there. Who scored the game-winning run there?
Oh man, I want to say I want to say Reddick, but it wasn't.
Brian, you were at
was it Chad Pennington?
Coco
Chris got the hit. Who scored the run? He was a white guy.
God, what was his name?
I would probably say Marco Scudero.
No, we just named some random A's player from the past. It's like doing it 10 years later. Seth Smith. Because he got the double before to tie it up. Yeah. He got the double. He brought in Donaldson on the run before that. You're right. That is a good one. Brian, you got a moment that stands out to you?
I think it was the year that they broke through. That was the year I got season tickets, so I was able to go to every Twins playoff game, the home game. So I would say that was my favorite moment when they played the Twins and broke through into the ALCS.
Now that's when you could say Scudero. That was 2006.
The famous Mark Kotze inside the park home run in the Metrodome.
Yeah, well. I got a couple other shout out ones. Jose Cruz Jr. for my Giants, for Tyler out there. That's kind of one that always sticks out to me just because I just remember he dropped a pop fly. He was a Gold Glover against the Marlins in the DS there, kept the Marlins alive, and then they ended up winning. And then for me, I don't know why, I just think that it was on ESPN and I remember watching it. He was so good at the time. Was Pedro when he came in to defeat the Indians. Like he pitched 6 innings out of the bullpen, I think, gave up 1 hit or something like that. And they ended up playing I think that was 99, prime Pedro basically. So I kind of remember that moment as well.
I don't know if it's a DS, but one of my favorite playoff moments is when JT Snow got thrown out at home and then he plowed over Ivan Rodriguez, but they called him out. And the Giants
holds up the ball.
Just for you, Tyler.
Who are you guys rooting for?
To win the World Series?
Yeah.
Brian, go for it.
Yeah.
I would probably say with the teams left, I would say the Giants.
Yeah.
Boo. Oh, come on, Brian. You root for the Giants. You're killing me. Who you got, Chase? Did you say?
If they get in, I want the Mariners to win it all.
Oh, that's not happening. That's just
Starbucks for everybody for life.
Starbucks for everybody for life. I think for me, I always kind of root for the Brewers. I feel like that's kind of the team I like. I always kind of want to see win. Even though they did have the Bucs win this year, I don't know if I want their and the Packers did beat the Niners last week, so we don't want to. We don't want to be. We want to be sensitive.
I could see
I
Milwaukee winning
I
it.
see 2 Niners flags up
Two
above
that-
you, Darren.
That's
you
just
got
for you,
some
Brian.
Niners flags.
That's just for you, Brian. Hey, look, I also put up a few other. I put up a little Barry Bonds little thing right there too. See a little Barry love there for the Giants fans as well.
And Kevin Mitchell.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here's some stats of the year. I wanted to go over with you guys, but I thought this was kind of funny. Real quick about the DS series, real quick. I wanted to give you some ones that they had real quick. They had the Pudge play at the plate, number 5. The Holiday no hitter was there. Of course, I said the A's losing. They, of course, mentioned the play that I just feel like is the most overhyped of all time, right? The flip by Jeter, number 3. They have the Batista bat flip, and then always number 1, right? Always number 1 in every DS series list is the Mariners versus the Yankees, and Ken Griffey Jr. scoring on the double by Edgar. I always feel like that's number 1 on every list, right? It is. It's always
the one that saved Seattle.
It's true. And that's what I said about the A's this year. The A's need a dramatic moment like that to get their city, to get the town, and to get the franchise to work together. And they just don't have it. When you struggle on the field and you have bad business people in your leadership like that, that's what happens. So it pisses me off. Anyways, I don't want to talk about that anymore. All right, stats of the year. Stats of the year.
Very disappointing year.
Very disappointing year, just pathetic year. All right. We can talk about that next on our special major league.
Please, Joe Lacob buy the A's.
Yeah, somebody else buy the A's, please. Vladimir leads the league in runs. What a season. Toronto, Bo Bichette second with 119. Simeon 5th with 113. If that doesn't tell you the Blue Jays have a stacked offense, I don't know what does. 3 guys in the top 5 in runs. Unbelievable. That means Vladimir right in there. Going into the day, Bo could take the lead. Who knows? Freddie Freeman's still on there. Turner has 194 hits. He leads the league in that. Doubles. A surprise from the Tigers. I'm not even going to try to say his name. Triples. I am always fascinated by the triple total every year. Every year. Remember I said Anderson holds the record with 23 since 2008 or like 2008. I think he got it. That was like the most in like the modern era, basically since like the 50s. The most this year is 8. Dare to guess the name?
Nah.
Shohei Ohtani. Oh, they're on the list. And always a low key triple guy, David Peralta, randomly on the Diamondbacks. Home runs, Salvador. He's 1 ahead of Vladimir. Can you hold him off today, Casey? Can the big catcher?
I sent that.
Get to 50. Is that possible?
I sent that tweet out a while ago, and I said he was having one of the best years for a catcher. And this is like a month or so ago, and so I believe ever since
50.
Ever since he entered that home run derby, I don't know what the hell happened, but yeah, I think he's gonna get the 50.
He's a big freaking human being. That man is massive man.
The large
Brian.
man.
Shohei was at 45. He kind of slowed down there. You'd be curious to see what happens with him when he's a free agent here. He says he wants to start winning. Newsflash, probably not going to happen with the Angels. So you better
go to Oakland.
No, doesn't he feel like a Yankee? Doesn't he? Like he's a Yankee, Dodger. I mean, the Giant, something like that. The Giants should be wanting him as much as anybody.
I could see him going to the Mets.
Why?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to win, why would you go to the Mets?
Because I think
Brian, that's what I like right there. That's the stuff we like. We don't want to hear this little Casey, the Mets. I mean, that's just because the owner would give him a massive contract.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just give him hella money.
I hope he doesn't go to the Mets. I'd love to see him on somebody else like the Twins. No, all right. So a couple other stats.
I guess that's my question is, I live over here in Anaheim. what is it going to take for the Angels to win?
Probably, you know what, developing some pitching. When you have the worst ERA, like 9 out of 11 seasons, that's not a good record right there. I mean, their bullpen is never good. They're starting pitching. I mean, that's when they were good. When we used to hate the Angels back in the day. They used to have good pitching, like Washburn, and they used to have I'm forgetting the righty Lackey was good back in the day. And they had a few other guys.
They had K-Rod.
Yeah, and they had, you know, was it Percival, right?
Yeah, Troy.
Troy, yeah, he was in there. And then they had good hit. They developed better. Now they always trade all their prospects for guys, and so they don't have anything in their farm system ever.
I felt like
I heard they abuse their minor league players more than anybody with like pay and like facility use. So that would make sense too.
I felt like they're going down the shitter ever since they signed Jared Weaver.
Yeah, he was good though. He was a pain in the ass for sure. All right, let me get through a few more stats here. Jared Weaver, that brings back some bad memories. Soto, 144 watts. That's a ton. Who leads the league in strikeouts? No shock. Joey Gallo, 212. Matt Chapman, not too far behind, 202. That was my MVP pick at the beginning of the year. Great job there. Good pick on that one. Stolen bases. Marte, 47. Can he get 3 today? Does he get to 50?
He'll try.
He'll try. If he gets on base, he'll go for the stats there. Turner has the 328 average there. So those are the hitting stats this year. I found some of them interesting.
Isn't that so embarrassing that 328 leads the league in batting average? Like, do you guys remember like when we were in like in the early 2000s or 90s? Like it was like 360s, 340s.
Tony Gwynn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Ichiro.
Yeah.
Who do you think's the best average hitter you can remember?
Tony Gwynn by far.
Just because he was able to like get the ball and play as much. Let's go through the years right here. They got so batting at all-time years. I mean, let's see where he ranks on that list. Tony Gwynn's his average is 338. John Olerud, wow, a real right.
From the Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays, yeah, I guess. I'd say Tony Gwynn, 338 average lifetime. That's a pretty sick. Pretty sick stat right there. That's just nuts right there. Let me just real quick see what his best batting average year is, if I can find it real quick. Let's see if I can see it.
During that strike year, he was close to 400.
So he batted 394 one year. All right, so he never has a year under 200 other than his first year. Never.
You mean under 300?
Under 300? Never, ever. He has a 351 case in there. He's got a 370 in there. He's got a 358, 394, 368, 353, 372. And he did those all in a row. Those were 5 straight seasons. Are you freaking kidding me? That is insane. Those were all a 372. What? That's crazy. Wow. I mean, what we say Turner a 328 this year? That's not like horrible by any means.
No.
Put the 372 in perspective. My God.
I mean, basically, he's getting on base like probably almost 50% of the time.
It's nuts. It's nuts. And that stat always amazes me. Can we go to pitching real quick here? So pitching, I got let's go quickly through. Urias has the most wins. Nobody really cares about wins anymore, right? Castillo, the most losses. There you go. That boy 16. I like it. 8 and 16, but he's got a decent ERA. Burns leads the league in the ERA 2.43. And, DeGrom would have if he qualified, but he got hurt. Saves leader this year. Who we got? Melanson, right? Where we go? Big 39 there for that. There we go. Wasn't there? Let's see. And who gave up the most home runs? That's always a stat I like to kind of see as well. Who gave up the most homers? Jordan Lyles from Adams, Texas Rangers, gave up 38 bombs. Congratulations.
Hey, they had a bad team this year. A bad team.
That's a lot of home runs. 38.
Yeah, and Jordan also second on the list in giving up the most hits. A rough season for Jordan. He gave up 194 hits. but the Rangers kept throwing him out there. They kept
Felt like Brian was playing triple play 2000.
they kept throwing him out.
I pulled Zito after the first inning.
Oh, I know, that was great. And then a surprise leader, unless Zach Wheeler is going today or Garrett Cole. Let's see, maybe they are going today. That would make a difference.
You think that's why that the leading batting average is so low? Because the pitchers, I noticed they pitch so much harder than they did back in the day. So
yeah,
maybe there's more. Yeah.
No doubt. I think you're right, Brian. And I don't think hitters are as contact. Not as many of them are just thinking contact. That's why partially the way Turner's good is that the guy is like a fast human being too, and he uses the speed to get out hits, just kind of like our boy Ichiro there. All right, so I just encourage everybody to check out the MLB playoffs. Baseball is just one of those sports when the playoffs come around. It's worth watching, even if you don't really know the players. It's just the crowds are into it, and usually every pitch just matters. The drama is high intensity, so that's what I enjoy about it. Boys, that was fun doing a little MLB segment there. I enjoyed that.
I think most of the games are on TBS, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have TBS, so we'll have to figure that one out. But I do have the app, so I can still get the radio there. All right, let's take a quick little break. We'll be back with the pigskin, a little football talk here. NFL Week 3, start of fall. We'll give our best bets here. All right, we'll be back. All right, we're back here. Fatboy FadeAway Sports Podcast. Good baseball segment there. Again, tune into them. We'll be back next week with the start of the playoffs. We'll be talking more about that next week. All right, football here, week 4. This is the week where it starts to tell us a lot. Teams start to either be 1-3, it starts to be a big week. It does feel a little different because there's that extra week this year that our brains aren't quite used to, right? We're used to a 16-game season. So I think we do have to kind of remember there is one extra game, which kind of now it's like week 5 is now that big week. I feel like a little bit more than week 4, but we'll see how it plays out. Again, every week still, like people say, matters though. Gentlemen, Case, let's start with you. When you looked at the schedule, what's your first thoughts?
It's got to be Brady, Patriots going in with, Tampa Bay. But, Gronkowski's out. Yeah, Gronkowski's out. They said the highest paid ticket since like 2000 or something. It's like over $1,100 a ticket. It's crazy, crazy money. But that's the big game. I hope. I know I said before. I think the Patriots will just blitz them to death and they'll come out winning. But I was just speaking out my ass. But Tampa Bay is going to romp. It's going to be like 40 to 10, 45 to 15, 17, something crazy like that. What about you, Brian? What you think?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that's how Tampa should go into the game and make you got to make Mac Jones throw deep passes on you because he's 7 for 27 on passes over 20 yards.
Not good. Not good.
Yeah, Adam's
that's why my nickname for him was the Noodle Arm.
The Noodle Arm.
So he truly is mac and cheese. He ain't real. He's that crap.
Adam texted me. I was asking, so what's your real thoughts? Because he's the Patriots fan. He's the Patriots guy. He's legitimately been a Patriots fan since the start of it. He goes, I feel like it'd be cool to see him. He's referring to Brady. I feel like it'd be cool to see him back, and I want Brady to get the ovation and tribute video he deserves. But I want to whip his ass. That's what he said. So that's what Adam said. So, and I guess I didn't realize too that he's only 68 yards away from the passing record, and they said they're not gonna go Drew Brees on him and stop the game for 3 hours, but they're gonna just do a quick little wave there and then move on. So big game tonight, a lot of reasons. I kind of personally want to see it come down to Mac Jones with the ball with a chance to win it. I just think it'd be kind of fun if the Patriots, well, not to say they win, but just for the drama part of it, Patriots are down 4, let's say they have to get a touchdown and Mac Jones has a minute 20 to go down the field. Can the new guy overcome the big guy on the stage? To me, that would be just kind of a funny little twist to see if that played out more so than if Brady can do it. We've already seen that story. To me, it'd be funny to see if
NBC would love that.
Oh, they would love it.
Do you
And
really?
the refs know it tonight. The refs know it.
Do you really think it's going to be a close game, though?
No, yes, the refs are going to be all for the Patriots tonight. They're going to
I
be.
mean,
They're not
I
playing
think
the
he's saying
Raiders.
that they're going to throw PI calls on.
I won't be surprised.
What's
Is
it going to
Richard
be
Sherman
like?
playing tonight? Does anybody know?
Is it going to be like Remember the Titans, where they just throw flags on them?
I know what I'm starting to hate our guy at Savage. Good podcast again. I think he's coming out with one next week on I don't know sports. He was tweeted a couple weeks ago that he's starting to hate the numbers of players. Like like the linebackers are now like number 7 or something like these players are different numbers. It's starting to bother me now too. At first, my brain's not used to that either. I'm like, what the heck's that receiver doing that? Doing tackling that guy. I don't know. I'm not liking it. I'm just throwing that out there. Any other games, Brian, you kind of see? Well, first let's put a little bow, I guess we should do on the Patriots Bucs game. You guys all think the Bucs win then?
Yeah.
I said earlier in the week that they're gonna go crazy on Tom, but I was just kind of speaking out my ass. But
You think
and the Bucs, yeah, for sure, they're gonna romp them.
I think I'm gonna take the Patriots. I think I'm gonna put my arm on that chair. I think it's gonna. I think
That's why you're the armchair Patriots fan.
I think I'm gonna put it on there tonight.
Are you gonna bet Derek's allowance this week? Or
Derek actually, our neighbors had like a big pile of bricks, and all the kids started moving bricks, and he made $20. So he's pretty excited about that. I was like, nice. Let's get a smoothie tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. Well, we talked about this last week. There's really no good morning games, but the only game that really kind of intrigues me is the Panthers-Cowboys game. And then maybe for me, kind of the Chiefs-Eagles, just because the AFC West team kind of intrigued me a little bit there. So not really anything exciting there. So let's just get to a couple other games. What do you think the Steelers-Packers? I feel like that's a big game because obviously I have the Steelers making the Super Bowl. If they go 1-3, which doesn't look good. Do they get the win? I'm going to say they don't. I'm going to say they lose.
I got to go with Green Bay in that game.
They're 6-point underdogs. Do they at least cover? Do they win? I'm going to say they cover. I'm going to say they lose by 3. I'm going to say.
Hell no.
Do you think the Broncos can go 4-0 and beat the Ravens?
I would go with the Ravens in that game.
That's an interesting one there.
I'm going to go with. I don't want to do it because I hate the Broncos, but they're at home. I got to go with the Broncos.
Brian, you watch a lot of NFL Network. Colleen, I think you mentioned that she does some stories there. Have you anything that came up this week that we should know about from Colleen or anybody else at NFL Network?
I mean, I don't think she's respecting Nick Bosa still. I mean, she hasn't apologized for calling him Joey, and I don't like that.
Oh, come on, that's gotta be something.
That's probably the game of the day, right? That's got to be the game. There's 3, I think, games, obviously.
The Niners,
Patriots, Tampa, Seahawks, Niners, and then Raiders, Chargers, right?
Well, that's going to be tough when the Niners have their first 2-game losing streak with Garoppolo today, Brian. And they lose to the Seahawks. And now then everybody's panicking about Lance. I knew that
comment came from you on Twitter. There's going to be a first time for everything.
You started nasty rumors. I was just saying I want I kind of want the drama, and I feel like at the beginning of the year I said I kind of want it to play out where it's the Niners are 2-2 or 3-2, and we'll see if when he was drafted. Oh yes, we'll stick to the process there of Jimmy G. No, they will not. Shanahan is pulling the plug. We know it. They're not going to wait, will they? No way.
I'm gonna have to be honest. I'm gonna have some beers during this game. I'm gonna be a little bit nervous.
Well, Brian, drink responsibly. Let's be smart here. Be smart. I'm just kidding. Have a good time there.
Coming from that first Raiders game and this guy on the bottom here.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Anyways, that'll be tough when you guys are 2-2 after this week. But hopefully that.
I just think that I think Seattle's just. I don't know. I just don't think they're as talented as they used to. I think
Their
this is the
defense
year
sucks this year.
Yeah, it
It's
does.
horrible. I think they've given up like they were saying like almost 400 something yards a game or something crazy like that, way more than anybody else. So yeah, I'd say they're doing pretty bad this year. What was the other game you had was it the Raiders Chargers on Monday?
Yeah. So who do you guys got? You got Raiders or Chargers?
Well, obviously we'll talk about it Monday night. We kind of mentioned it last week.
I know, but just to lay it out there, like
thinking about through the week.
This is like the preview.
Let's let Brian go first.
He's
not the homer. He doesn't have a dog in the fight. Who do you got, Brian? You got that's not a
I would have to go with the Raiders. It seems like everything's going right for them right now.
Ryan, I think you're starting to get on the bandwagon a little bit there. I'm starting to feel a little armchair from you when it comes to the Raiders there as well. So let's not get crazy with the Patriots. Let's be realistic.
Hey, I have to be honest. They've always been my second favorite team. If the Niners aren't doing good, I vote for the Raiders.
I thought it was always the Colts for some reason.
That's Peyton Manning. That's what Peyton Manning was saying.
Your face,
I'm sure you're gonna bring up the Bengals. The Bengals.
I stunned you there.
I got the Raiders. I think the Raiders are gonna win. I think they're gonna pull it out. They're in LA, but it's predominantly gonna be a Vegas crowd, however you want to phrase it. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a hell of a game. But
There'll probably be a lot of Oakland fans.
I was looking at Derek Carr's stats. I'm like, man, he's doing really well this year.
Thank you, Brian. I'm trying to get on there. Thank you, Brian. Yeah. Thank you.
Well,
talking to Mr. Negative here on the other side. So.
All right. Well, I was hearing you guys, and I think I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
I knew. You knew it was
I knew.
I think the streak comes to an end. I think the Raiders can't hold on. And they end up losing 3-1.
Just like if Tyler was here, Tyler would take the Seahawks.
The first ever 3-1 game ever. What was that, Brian?
I said if Tyler was here right now, he'd take the Seahawks. So he's just negative.
No, I think the Raiders actually. This is a game they probably. I just think the Chargers end up pulling it out. That's all I think. So we'll see. I got to see a little bit more from Casey's boy, Mr. Carr. We'll see if he can deliver on Monday night on primetime game. Go 4-0, really set the tone for the division. Whoever wins this, I think, really makes the big difference there. So those are obviously the big games of the week. Can we go to a bet we might take real quick? Or you guys got something else too?
I have to change the first coach to get fired in the year. I have to go. I don't think Nagy knows what he's doing out in Chicago.
What did he do? Why is everybody so upset about him?
Sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, does he have much to work with?
Yeah.
I
go for it, Brian. Yeah. Go for it.
I don't know. I just think it started with that playoff game against when they played against the Eagles. I mean, I don't know. Like he should have been playing for the win more in that game, and I just don't think he's got it as a coach. And I just think they're gonna end up going with somebody else in Chicago.
Thank you, Colleen. Over to you, Casey.
I don't even know why he got another year. It's a joke. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, he even admitted he's like, yeah, like after watching the game, he's just like, yeah, I should have done a better job. And it's like, yeah, bro, like during the game, you probably should have done a better job. Like quarterbacks get sacked 9 times. This is his first start. Like, come on now. Like, you had 1 passing yard. That's ridiculous, bro. Like, you can't do that. That's atrocious. Right, not even atrocious. That's just embarrassing. Like you're supposed to be a quarterback guru. Like you had out or Patrick Mahomes, and I don't even think he gets credit for it. I don't think he should. Like I mean, look what Andy Reid's done. I don't even think Nagy had anything to do with it. It's just the Bears have a legitimate good defense, and they're just squandering like their good talent that they have. And he's just ain't the coach, man. He ain't good. He's terrible. Sucks.
Okay, well, that's you guys definitely made your case for Nagy. Bears fans out there, I hope you're happy about that statement. I could care less about Big Nagy, but those Bear fans out there, you hope you enjoyed that part with it. Brian, you originally said the Vikings guy. He's not getting fired. He's maybe at the
No, I mean that was a big win against Seattle last week.
Yeah.
Vikings
Hey,
just dominated them.
I always like to do a little parlay, a little bet once a week, just for like 3 teams. Usually the underdogs I think will win. So this is what I got this week. I got the Colts beating the Dolphins. All right, they're plus 115, so a little bit of a favorite. I got the Giants beating the Saints. They're plus 270 because I feel like the Saints with Winston, you might get that boomerang effect. Last week was good, Jameis. Maybe this week is bad. You don't know. So I'm gonna. It's worth a gamble. Is my thought there. And then I'm going the Falcons. They're plus 110, just a little bit of an underdog against the football team there. So so if I put $10 on it, I would win 157. So what do you think? Worth the shot there, or should I go to 50 cents? Let's see what 50 cents would pay out there, Jason. I go 50 cents. I can win $7.85. That's it. 50 cents. Good.
I say spend
I
half
think
of
you should
Derek's
go with
break.
a higher bet.
You go there. Let's see. I'll probably, knowing me, I'll end up putting 5 on it, which will get me a total of $78 if I won. That's worth $5 right there.
Spend half of Derek's brick money.
I definitely don't want to start getting to that point. All right, so week 4, like I said, kind of some bad games. I feel like in the morning, kind of disappointing schedule. I feel like last week there's a little bit more. But the afternoon kind of gets a little bit more luscious, we'll say. And then the night game, the primetime games this week are legit with the Sunday night. Even though we'll be at dinner at Catelli's, which is fine for the anniversary. We'd rather be there anyways with mom and dad. Tom can wait. Hey, quick question. My neighbor asked me, do you think right now, like no practicing right now, this second, could you run faster than Tom Brady did in his combine, a 40-yard dash?
Absolutely. 100%.
Are you sure? Right now?
Yeah. He ran like a 5.
Let me see what his exact time was. Do you think you could do faster than that? He ran a 5.28 in 40. That's
Yeah. I used to run like a 4.49.
What do you think, Brian? You coming in slower?
I'm going to go with a no on that one.
Oh, Brian, Big Johnson with honesty there. I like it. 5.28. I'm not known for the sprint speed, but I think maybe I have a chance to get that time, though. I think I got.
Oh, that is?
I think I got. Yeah, I think I got that time. I think I got that one. I mean, right up. My only fear would be, do I pull the hammy? Is that slow me down? Does the hammy go? Does the hammy go on the sprint?
It's like a gun went off.
Oh, yes, it was. I don't want that to happen.
I want to ask, what's your big fantasy player of the week? What you guys got? Your big guy, like the one that's going like number 1. You think's going to just top it? Running back, quarterback, wide receiver, whatever it be.
Justin Herbert.
I'm hoping Tyreek goes off. I need a big week from Tyreek Hill.
I heard he hasn't been as a quality so far this year. We haven't liked it as much.
I'm saying Derrick Henry goes for 203 tubs against the Jets.
There's probably a good chance that happens.
Man, do you guys realize when Derrick Henry, I looked up, he's the 45th pick?
Second round. You're right. He was. That's crazy that he was that.
He wasn't even the starter. DeMarco Murray was the starter.
I'm gonna go. I think it was me.
I decided to go with the Titans for survival football over the Jets.
That's probably a good choice there, Brian. I'm gonna go with Debo. I think Debo has a big day against the Seahawks defense.
Oh wow! Giving the Niners some love here. I can't believe it. I'm gonna die of shock.
I could see him having 185 yards at a losing effort, but I think in that regard, I think that he will have.
I'm sure you were picking Seattle in that game.
I did. Remember? No, I'm not picking them in Survivor. All right, so that's what we got for football this week. Couple of picks, get a fantasy players. Should be a good week. Come afternoon, I feel like. Let's get out of those morning games. Go to church, people. Go do those things.
I don't want a slow start from Jimmy Garoppolo today. I want a fast start. Come on, Jimmy. Come on.
Brian, that's not going to happen. You know that. It's not going to happen. Does Jimmy get fast starts? I love the way his form, though. He always looks like the most prototypical quarterback. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, he just seems very fundamentally sound. But what's Tyler say? He can't throw outside the numbers. That's what he said. Cannot. The Seahawks defense is horrible. This is your chance to get them.
Yeah.
Come on, Brian. All right, Monday night.
Go 49ers. Go 49ers.
we'll see it. I'll see you guys Monday night. I think it's just Tyler won't be there as well, so it'll just be the three of us. We'll be recapping the Raiders versus the Chargers.
We miss you,
Monday
Tyler.
Night
We miss you,
Football.
Tyler.
Casey, you tell Dad. No, I was kidding. Get the tissues. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Later.
All right.